It's Monday, November 10th.
But Ottawa, they have been
Atletico Ottawa are waking this morning as CPL champs after an iconic final game.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
Ottawa sees its first blast of winter as Environment Canada is warning that travel could be challenging today.
Going as that's fine. Shabbat is shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
And the Ottawa Senators kick off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good Monday morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Eden.
I'm Willa Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And I feel like it was a super busy weekend. And of course, we got our first taste of winter.
Yes.
Atletico waking up as champs. It's kind of like bittersweet, right? What a game, too.
Amazing game. And I'm so glad y'all made it in. I was worried. I was like, okay, first snowfall of the season, slipping and sliding. Okay, though, right?
Yeah, we talked on Friday and then we talked again yesterday about the fact that we couldn't get appointments till next week.
For winter tires.
For winter tires.
So even Sunday, we're like, all right, it looks like we're going to be okay. The snow will stop just before giving them time to clear the roads.
Yeah, it was still very slippery. And just to give people an estimate, it normally takes me about 22 minutes. It took me about 40. So it doubled my time. And I'm not dealing with traffic. I'm just dealing with the road elements.
This is true. And you're just taking your time.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So leave yourself a little extra time, but the snow not just affecting the roads. We're going to start with our headlines. Atletico Ottawa, they're waking up this morning as CPL champs after an iconic final game highlighted by one of the most spectacular goals in Canadian Premier League history.
trying to cross. And he wants to claim in the air. Bicycle! Oh, my God!
It doesn't get any more Canadian than that. That bicycle kick goal in the 40th minute by David Rodriguez tied the game at 1 and has been dubbed the icicle kick. The game against the Calgary FC was played in near blizzard conditions, with plows actually having to come clear the snow before extra time could be played. That's where Rodriguez would also score the winning goal. Atletico Ottawa are now the North Star champs. Final score was 2-1. This is their inaugural title. Atletico had lost in the final once before.
Continuing with the snowfall that struck the capital, the region has been blanketed and it's likely to lead to a messy commute this morning.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada is warning that travel could be challenging today, and you are encouraged to take extra time for your commute. Hundreds of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid.
An affront to our mutual understanding and historical respect between doctors in the province of Quebec.
Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. The legislation ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets, and they can face stiff sanctions for boycotting the changes. Protesters are calling for the law to be suspended.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance a new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January and be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. As the U.S. government shutdown nears an end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed and 2,200 were canceled. Sunday, as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on some airports, and some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
President Donald Trump is helping his allies who supported his alleged plan to overturn the 2020 election results. A Justice Department spokesperson says he has given them pardons from federal charges. Trump's lawyers, Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, and his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, are on the list. The pardon explicitly states it doesn't apply to Trump himself. The Ottawa Senators kicked off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense, find Shabbat. His shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
Michael Amadio makes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He has scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also scoring in this game. Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Remembering fallen heroes and veterans, several ceremonies went ahead in our region over the weekend ahead of Remembrance Day. And that was the sound of bagpipes in North Gore, a preview of the ceremonies that are set for Remembrance Day tomorrow. The main ceremony at the National War Memorial begins at 10:30. You can expect some traffic delays in that area as we approach tomorrow morning.
The Toy Hall of Fame has announced its latest inductees.
Each year, the Hall of Fame recognizes toys that have inspired creative play across generations. This year, Slime, Battleship, and Trivial Pursuit join the ranks of iconic toys.
Other Hall of Famers include My Little Pony, The Spinning Top, and Scrabble.
Oh, yeah.
Inductees are decided by a combination of public votes and expert panelists. That would be a fun panel to be on.
Right?
That would be.
And a good couple games in
Some
there.
good ones in there. My Little Pony, I mean, I remember that as a kid, and now there's like a reboot, so my daughter and my son enjoy it.
Yeah,
so it's
and
nice to see.
Slime.
Slime.
I know a lot of kids would be happy to have that.
Parents'
in there.
worst nightmare, though.
Yeah,
Parents
very
do not
true.
always love the slime because it does get everywhere.
Everywhere. Probably a lot of people playing some games and board games over the weekend, today, maybe even continuing this week with what we've seen, because obviously top of mind is the snow.
Do you have any guesses on how much snow we received?
14.
Close.
13.2.
Close. 11.7 at the Ottawa Airport. So very, very close.
There you go. Yeah.
And, you know, it depends on where you live. That was registered at the Ottawa Airport. Obviously, some areas will see a little bit more, some areas will see a little bit less. But yes, almost 12 centimeters of snow has already fallen in Ottawa. Most of the big stuff is gone, but we are still expecting some flurries in the forecast today. So you can see some white on our screen. We will see some flurries kind of off and on this morning, right through into your overnight. And there's actually a couple of days that these flurries will stick around. Conditions this week below seasonal. So we're going to deal with a very cool week in the forecast for us and a little bit snowy as well. So hopefully you have the snow tires on. If you don't, hopefully you can get them on this week because it's going to be a bit of a slippery week in terms of driving. Conditions right now, temp sitting at -3 with the wind chill feels closer to -9. So on top of all the snow you have to dig out from yesterday, it's a cold start to our morning and similar across the region. Everybody kind of seeing with these cooler conditions except for Montreal. They're sitting at 1 degree, seeing a few scattered showers this morning. So as we sift through our closet, yes, you need the winter gear today. Kids, get out the snow pants, the mitts, the toques. You're going to need it all into the afternoon. The snow will stick around at least for a couple days this week as we see below seasonal temperatures. Temps will hover around -1 into your afternoon. We'll feel closer to -3 today, and we are expecting those flurries. So kids will be excited to go back to school and see all that snow. Conditions today below seasonal throughout the region. -2 in the valley, Bancroft -1, down in Trenton, 0 for Kingston, Brockville, same along Cornwall. Most people seeing some flurries in the forecast for today, -2 as well in Kittagan-Zippy as well as in Petawawa. So when you look at the 7-day forecast, just to give you an idea, temps should be hovering around 6 degrees into the afternoon, and you can see for the next 7 days we'll be well below that for our afternoon highs. -1 for today, -4 is your overnight low. Again, those flurries today, tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday is the day that we could see some flurries mixed in with some rain, so some wet snow and some rain combination as temperatures do hover around 3 degrees. But overall, a colder week in the forecast for us, and we're going to have to wait until the weekend to see a little bit of sunshine. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Again, snow-covered roads in some areas. The highway, I must say, pretty good conditions this morning. To start things off, be careful on your on and off ramps. And again, those side streets as crews do work to try and clear up all that snow. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
How you doing? Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Ottawa for the Canadian Premier League Championship game. Ottawa facing Cavalry FC in a blizzard. 40th minute, the ball delivered into the box. And David Rodriguez pulls off the bicycle kick goal. Incredible scenes and an unreal finish, especially given the conditions. Maybe easier than shooting it along the snow, just saying. His first of 2 in the match as Ottawa takes the North Star Cup, and Rodriguez claims the must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, we wrap up Week 10 in the NFL with Monday Night Football. The Eagles face the Packers in Green Bay. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, just 2 years after the closure of the infamous fast food restaurant, Ottawa's Byward Market will once again be home to a McDonald. Coming up, we are going to get Bill Carroll's opinion on the thoughts of that return towards the market. Taking a peek outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and it is feeling a little cool this morning, but topic of mine, the white stuff all over the roads, the sidewalks. Leave yourself a little extra time to perhaps shovel or give yourself extra time out on the roads. Happy Monday, everybody.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following for today on Your Morning Ottawa. Atletico Ottawa are CPL champs after a final game played in a driving snowstorm and included one of the greatest goals of all time. The snowfall from Sunday is expected to lead to a bit of a messy commute. The roads are tricky, and Environment Canada is warning you to take extra time. The U.S. Senate has taken the first step to end the longest government shutdown in history. Your full newscast in 15 minutes, but first, a check on the forecast.
Yeah, Rosie, this is what everyone will be talking about this morning. Of course, besides that big Atletico W. Temperatures feeling a little bit cool, but over 10 centimeters of snowfall in Ottawa yesterday morning, continuing into this morning. So leave yourself a little extra time, not just out on the roads, but to shovel too. Not going to be very warm. We are getting up to -1 with still a chance for that white stuff to follow through the afternoon. Out on your roads this hour, again, Melissa was letting us know the highways are actually looking pretty good at this hour, but some of those side streets, crews are still working to get all of those cleared, so just be extra careful as it is our first winter blast of the year. Well, Remembrance Day is tomorrow, and ahead of the somber day of reflection, several ceremonies were held in the nation's capital yesterday, paying respects to those who made the ultimate sacrifice. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports.
The sound of bagpipes fills the air as the community comes together to remember those who never came home.
I have vivid memories of those times, and that stayed with me.
Dr. Dennis Osmond was just 10 years old, living in the United Kingdom during the Second World War. Being here today outside the North Gore Cenotaph is a means to honor the Canadian and British soldiers who fought for his life and his family's.
The good times that we have, the freedom that we have, is on the shoulders of many people who didn't live to tell the story.
Held by by the Manotick Legion branch, the service is one of several Remembrance Day ceremonies taking place ahead of November 11th across Ottawa.
Save the King.
Veteran Melanie Woodley laying the wreath on behalf of Indigenous veterans.
I believe that it's probably the most important day of the year, at least for me, to honor those that went before me and those who were unable to come home, and also for those that were able to come home but are maybe changed physically, emotionally, the families thereof as well.
Across the city, the Brantwood Place gates serve as a memorial backdrop for a ceremony honoring the lives lost to war.
We are breathing, we are living safely because of their efforts, their contributions.
Organized by the Montgomery Legion and the Old Ottawa East Community Association, organizers say 100 members of the community came to honor those who have served.
All my uncles served in the wars, in the Second World War in particular, and they're all gone now. And my dad as well. And, they went through a lot.
Peter Kroll says being able to pay tribute close to home is a chance for quiet contemplation with neighbors.
Young men and women still go through a lot. And I think as a civilian, we still have to do something. And remembering them is the least we can do.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Tomorrow, November 11th, Remembrance Day, National War Memorial. It's such a somber commemoration, but it really does give you a moment to go, wait a minute. They were just so young, so many of these individuals who served our country so that we can just be out here free.
I know, and I was at the Canadian War Museum as well. You'll see that tomorrow, and just especially because ahead of Remembrance Day, there's just a little bit more power towards it and educating the young about the sacrifices that all of them made for us to have what we have today. And it's so powerful being there and seeing what these ceremonies are going to be held tomorrow. It is a beautiful day.
It really is. And for me, the Canadian Legion, the Royal Canadian Legion, holds a special place in my heart because they actually sponsored so many track meets when I was a kid. And they sponsored the Royal Canadian Legion National Championship. So you'd go to wherever it was held, and then you'd compete. And you're like, what's the Royal Canadian Legion? I'm talking when I was really young. And then you'd find out about these different Canadian Legions all across the country and what they've done. So I got a little bit of history when I was pretty young about the sacrifices that Canadians have made, because sometimes, it doesn't hit home. When you're super young, you're like, well, what's going on here?
Understand.
But when you do realize, you're like, oh my gosh, they were barely older than, they were teenagers and in their young 20s, and they were like, I'm going to go serve. I got to do this for my country.
I didn't know that too. And see, there's the thing right there. Like, I wouldn't be aware that at that time they were helping you with your track meets and being a part of something. Like, they go so far beyond what I think so many people are aware of.
Royal Canadian Legion, thank you again. And we'd get the medals and it'd have the Royal Canadian Legion on them. And I got a few of them. I got a few of them.
You did. And then now too, like when now you have your daughter doing it too, and you're able to instill like those stories and the power behind it now in her generation.
Exactly. So true. So of course I never walk by a cadet without buying a poppy. At least I try not to, because you want to give back. Anyway, if you can. 2 years after the closure of an infamous fast food restaurant location on Rideau Street, Ottawa's Byward Market will once again be home to a McDonald's. Why don't we check in right now with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush. Good morning to you, Bill.
Morning. Thanks for reminding me of putting my poppy on. It's not very good on my desk. I have to have it on my chest. Well, yeah, this was last time we had a McDonald's in the Byward Market. It became notorious because it was a pretty sketchy place to go very late at night. Remember, it was open 24 hours at first, and after a while, a lot of pressure from the community, it reduced the hours. And then eventually the police chief at the time, Charles Bordelot, wrote a letter to the president of McDonald's Canada and asked him to close it once and for all, and he did. And McDonald's didn't seem to be a very good steward of that restaurant. Now, it was a really unusual restaurant in that it had openings on 2 streets, and it crossed an entire block. And there was an area that you could sort of not be seen. You were inside the restaurant in this long hallway where it was warm and sheltered from whatever the elements were at the time, but not visible to the desk. So, it was a very unique setup. And I think once it became kind of renowned as a place to hang out, it was probably very hard to stop that. So we hope McDonald's does better in this location. It's not quite in the same spot nearby. within the same block, I would say more or less, on a corner area that's been open for quite a while. I've seen, hey, unique opportunity, corner store available. So they're going to be setting up there according to the signs in the window. So this time we have to hope that they do better, that they're careful about the hours they do, and that we have proper security. I'm not sure you can entirely blame McDonald's on it, but they needed to get on top of it in the beginning, and they didn't do that. So we don't need more problems in the market, but we do need fewer empty storefronts. So, you know, I kind of have mixed feelings about this. I think it's a good thing that we've got a restaurant moving back into the area, but let's hope it goes better this time.
Yeah, no baby raccoons allowed.
Remember that? The guy with the baby. That was a funny moment, but the least of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Bill, thank you so much. Have a great show.
Okay, you too.
Okay. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. COP30 gets underway today in Belém, Brazil. Nearly 200 countries are attending the annual climate change conference. CTV News correspondent Scott Hirsch joins us later this hour with more on the conference. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. Yep, look at that. Aftermath of just over 10 centimeters of snow. Drive safe out there. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on should grandparents be paid for babysitting. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. I have to bow out of this conversation, and I'll leave it to the two of you.
You know what? I want to say no. I don't think grandparents should be paid. I think it's just, you know, a kind gesture that they do. We're very fortunate that, you know, my parents do babysit my kids quite often, and thankfully I don't have to pay them. I already have to pay daycare costs. I couldn't imagine also having to factor out extra funds if I had to pay my parents. How we pay them back is in things like we'll take them out for dinner. We'll you know, if they're babysitting the kids, I'm like, oh, I order pizza, it's coming at 6:30 to the door. Like, I'll do kind little things like that. You know, I drive my mom shopping a lot of the times for my dad. Yesterday, I went over and I helped my mom make Christmas bows because she's like, you're better at them than I am, so can you come over and help me? So it's like little gestures like that that we show our appreciation, and that's how I try to pay it back, by paying it forward.
There you go. That's really nice. All right, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We are asking, should grandparents be paid for babysitting? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Coming up, we tell you why you should make the Bahamas your next sunny vacation destination and how you can win a trip for two to the Margaritaville Beach Resort, Nassau, in the islands of the Bahamas. We're going to be right back. We're on your Monday here, a snowy Monday, and you're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And hopefully everybody has their shovels ready to go because they are going to need to dig out a little bit this morning. Snow-covered day yesterday, and you were waking up to a blanket of white outside now.
Okay, so you got to give yourself plenty of time.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, and you know, the snowfall not just affecting the roads, but also some sporting events. Let's take a look at our top story. After a final that will go down in history, Atletico Ottawa are the 2025 Canadian Premier League and North Star Cup champions. The game was played in a driving snowstorm and orange ball to make it easier. That was for players and fans to see, and for Atletico, David Rodriguez, he played the hero in extra time.
But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again. Carlucci comes out, but Rodriguez trips him. David Rodriguez! What can't he do?
Just look at that scene. The perfect touch in the 107th minute put the home team up for good. Final score was 2-1 over Calgary FC.
The cleanup is underway after Ottawa's first major snowstorm of the season.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
School buses are running in Ottawa today, but the Transportation Authority says there may be some delays. OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada says 11.7 centimeters of snow has fallen and are encouraging you to take extra time for your commute. Hundreds of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid.
An affront to our mutual understanding and historical respect between doctors in the province of Quebec.
Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. The legislation ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets, and they can face stiff sanctions for boycotting the changes. Protesters are calling for the law to be suspended.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative, the motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance a new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January and be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. And as the U.S. government shutdown nears that end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed and 2,200 were canceled Sunday as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on the airports. Some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
At least 2 people are dead and 1 million others evacuated as a powerful typhoon makes landfall in the Philippines. The massive storm slammed regions with winds of up to 185 kilometers per hour and torrential rain. This follows another strong typhoon just days ago that left at least 200 people dead and more than 100 others missing. 2 Major League Baseball pitchers are in hot water over a betting scandal. Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are alleged to have taken bribes to give sports bettors advance notice of the types of pitches they'd throw. They also allegedly threw balls intentionally instead of strikes to ensure successful bets. They are facing charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. The Ottawa Senators kicked off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense find Shabbat. His shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
Michael Amadio takes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He has scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also scoring in this game. Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Remembering fallen heroes and veterans, several ceremonies went ahead in our region over the course of the weekend ahead of Remembrance Day. The bagpipes playing there in North Gore, a preview of the ceremonies that are set for Remembrance Day tomorrow. The main ceremony at the National War Memorial begins at 10:30. You can expect, though, some traffic delays in that area as we approach tomorrow morning.
Vibe coding was just named Collins Dictionary Word of the Year. The term refers to an emerging software that turns natural language into computer code using AI. Collins says it's programming by vibes, not variables. The word of the year is picked from a list of words that have emerged in the last year to most reflect the changing world around us.
And just like that, as the AI continues to work its way into our new world.
Absolutely.
Yes, and outside, you open your window, you look outside, it's giving very Christmas vibes.
It is.
Very much
It
so.
is. And Christmas is fast approaching as well, especially when you see the 7-day forecast. You're going to think, oh my goodness, I need to plan a trip down south because it is cold and it is snowy this week as well. Below seasonal temperatures this morning, right through into your work week ahead, and we're going to see some more flurries on the way today, and that will continue this week. So we have much colder conditions this week in through your weekend forecast as well. Right now, this is what we're seeing, a little bit cloudy out there to start off your morning, and yes, still seeing some flurries, so we're still seeing some drizzle and some flurries to start off your morning. We will continue to see that throughout the afternoon, so there is a 40% chance of just seeing some scattered flurries throughout the day. Not a lot of accumulation, under a centimeter, so we don't have to worry about digging out too much from all this winter weather on the way. However, just enough to make things a little bit slippery and to need to use your windshield washer fluids to make sure you have it topped up this morning. A lot of splatter on the Queensway as well. And we'll kind of continue to see these flurries right through until Friday. So a couple of days of some white stuff falling from the skies. Could even see mix it with some rain throughout the middle of the work week. A cold start to your morning. The valley's not registering, but also a chilly start there as well. -3 currently. Feels closer to -9 with that wind chill, so a cold start to your day. -4 in Trenton, -3 in Brockville, -2 to start off your day in Cornwall. So of course, drive with caution this morning. Snow-covered roads, especially on those side streets still as crews work to clear them out. Highways are looking pretty decent, same with on and off ramps, but just be careful out there on your roads. Similar story on your way home. Of course, it's going to take us a while to dig out from this storm, and because we're seeing those light flurries in the forecast, could make things a little bit slippery this morning as well as on your drive home later on tonight. So temperatures today will hover around -1, and normal for this time of year is around 6 degrees, so we'll be well below that for your daytime high. We'll feel closer to -3 with that wind chill out there. -2 in Pembroke as well as in Bancroft, 0 for Cornwall today, -2 in the valley, -2 as well over in Kittingen and Zibi. So cooler conditions today and throughout the next 7 days as well. -1 as well for tomorrow, and you can see these kind of flurries just lingering all week long. Wednesday, Thursday, as temperatures reach a high of 3, we could see some wet snow mixed in with some rain as temperatures warm up into the afternoon. But even as we head into the weekend, the flurries will clear up, some sunshine on the way, but temperatures still well below the norm.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Here are your road conditions this morning. They're looking pretty decent right now. Volume is slowly starting to pick up on the highways, but still moving well with no major delays.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
COP30 gets underway today in Belém, Brazil. Nearly 200 countries are attending the annual climate change conference. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us right after the break with more on the conference and what we can expect. Look at that. Winter is here. Our first big dumping of snow, over double digits here in the capital. I know maybe you're not ready, but doesn't it look so beautiful? Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Atletico Ottawa are CPL champs after a final game played in a driving snowstorm and included one of the greatest goals of all time. The first major snowfall of the season has passed and nearly 12 centimeters of snow has fallen. Environment Canada is warning you to take extra time on the roads. The U.S. Senate has taken the first step to end the longest government shutdown in history. Your full newscast in 15 minutes, but first, a check on the forecast.
And yes, a blanket of snow, that's what you're waking up to this morning, so you will have to dig out a little bit and, of course, give yourself some extra time on the roads. We could still see some light scattered flurries this morning, which will continue into the afternoon. Temps today below seasonal. -1 is our daytime high. Normal for this time of the year is around 6 degrees. It will be a cooler Tuesday and Wednesday forecast for us as well. Wednesday, we could see some flurries mixed in with some rain. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. The highways are looking great. The roads are nice and clear. However, do give yourself some extra time. Side streets are still a little bit sloppy out there on your drive-in. So, of course, give yourself some extra time if you can.
COP30 gets underway today in Belém, Brazil. Nearly 200 countries are attending the annual climate change conference. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us this morning with more on the conference. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Will.
So what is going to be the focus this year for the annual climate change conference, COP30, that takes place in Brazil?
Yeah, COP30 getting underway today, the annual Global Climate Summit that, as you mentioned, brings hundreds of countries together, taking place in Belém, Brazil. And the location this year really steeped in a lot of symbolism for the conference itself, at the edge of the world's largest tropical rainforest, the front line in the fight against deforestation. COP30, the climate summit, bringing countries together to take stronger action on climate change. Consistently one of the key goals, keep warming limits set a decade ago by the Paris Accord, but it's a goal many experts say is slipping out of reach. Canada, for its part, also likely to face a significant amount of criticism, as climate observers point to the recent budget just released last week. Big on development and expansion of energy projects, but a retreat of many Trudeau-era climate policies. Canada's Environment Minister over the weekend pitching the plan as a shifting approach that she claims connects climate ambitions with economic growth that is much needed for Canada. But the framework is short on details, particularly when it comes to climate goals, and provides no update on where Canada stands on emission reduction targets.
Yeah, and Scott, you know, all eyes are on who's attending the conference, but there's just as much noticing which leaders are not going to be there. So which ones do you have your eye on, and why wouldn't they be attending?
Yeah, specifically for Canada, climate negotiators are now heading to Brazil. They'll be there starting today for the next 2 weeks. Canada's delegation will be headlined by our Environment and Climate Change Minister, Julie de Bruijn. She'll be the one who will be leading the Canadian team to COP30. Prime Minister Mark Carney will not be in attendance. And another world leader not in attendance, U.S. President Donald Trump, as he has been quite critical of the conference and quite critical of some of the targets that the COP30 conference has set out over the years. And so U.S. President Donald Trump will not be in attendance. But for our part, as I mentioned, Prime Minister Mark Carney will not be there as the Liberal government continues to sell its budget back home. And instead, the delegation will be headlined by our Environment Minister, Julie de Bruijn. Well,
yeah, we'll just have to wait to see what comes from that conference. Always appreciate your time, Scott.
Thanks, Will.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we asked for your comments on should grandparents be paid for babysitting, and here is what you had to say. Will.
Elaine says, that's a tough question about paying grandparents for babysitting. My brother and I were babysat by our grandparents, and they enjoyed it, spending time with us, so they did not get paid. Like I said, it was an enjoyment for them, but to each their own.
And Debbie says, absolutely not. We feel very fortunate and grateful to have 6 grandchildren and consider it a privilege and a blessing to be such a big part of their lives and watch them grow up. Also, they are all hilarious and keep us laughing. Hey, thanks for that, Debbie. That's so much fun.
I love that. And of course, we'll be hearing from you later on in the show as well. We're asking you, should grandparents be paid for babysitting? Send your comments to us, Your Morning Ottawa at CTV.ca. Here's a live look at our Skycam on George Street this morning. And yes, the snow is here. You could see crews are out and about trying to clear it up. You could see those lights and the reflection of our studio windows, of course. So, you know, give yourself some extra time on the drive-in this morning. Looking for the perfect gift that won't break the bank? Join us next week for incredible Black Friday deals and hot holiday gift ideas.
Live local shopping week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry.
And it is time for your morning fix. And Predator Badlands is this weekend's apex predator at the box office, collecting a better than expected $40 million in its domestic debut.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
Those ticket sales were enough to cement a franchise record, overtaking 2004's Alien vs. Predator as the biggest opening weekend in the long-running property. The sci-fi series ignited with 1987's Predator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and extended over the years with sequels, reboots, and Alien crossover films.
Well, speaking with Mr. Hollywood on Friday, as we always get a nice little tease up of movies, he did have the end comment, which was, this is kind of in its own world,
Okay.
separate from the other movies. It's more of a full drama story than kind of like the action gore.
Nice.
Yeah, I see that because there's an actress in there, Elle Fanning. She's a great actress, and I'm like, she'd probably bring a little bit more drama to it, a little bit more storyline. So no surprise there.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And former Ottawa Senator Zdeno Chara is headed to the Hall of Fame. Chara got his Hall of Fame ring on Saturday. The former Sen and longtime captain of the Bruins and Stanley Cup champion spent the day in Toronto reminiscing on his career. Multiple former teammates shared stories and congratulations to the defenseman throughout the day. I think I remember Chara for his size, right? Like, look at him. What is he, 6'9"?
Yeah, 6'9". There's still this great photo. This is so long ago, but we were at a charity dinner when I was just a wee little kid, and it's my mom versus Chara, and she's looking up at him. And it's like it's almost double
so
her.
tall. And then when he puts skates on top of that, right?
Yes.
You give him another few inches.
It's like 7'1" or something with skates
wild.
on. Yeah.
It's wild. Well, congratulations to him. And 2 years after the closure of the infamous fast food restaurant location on Rideau Street, Ottawa's Byward Market will once again be home to a McDonald's. Yes, signs have been posted to the building at an intersection on Dalhousie and Rideau Street indicating that a McDonald's is coming soon and now hiring. Sign can also be seen on the building. The 99 Rideau Street McDonald's was a popular late-night destination and became the source of frequent police calls and viral incidents. We all remember the raccoon, right? The baby raccoon. Yeah, that's when a customer pulled a little raccoon from their jacket. So can't forget that.
And it's so wild too, because I can remember we actually, even when we were going out in college years, like we avoided this McDonald's just because it was so dangerous. Like it just wasn't worth it to go there.
There it is.
And there it is right
the
there.
Little raccoon.
Raccoon in a brawl, just a normal Saturday early morning or Sunday early morning.
Oh my goodness.
I honestly thought when I came here, I thought, I was told, the McDonald's, there was a baby raccoon. I thought, you're kidding. You're joking, right? That's not a true story. Then I saw the video and went, wow. That is wild.
Famous McDonald's for all the wrong reasons.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Here's what's coming up in the next hour. Millennial parents are complaining on TikTok that grandparents are not willing to take care of their children. Should grandparents be expected to be paid? We discuss this sensitive issue. Caroline Phillips is back with another edition of Caroline in the Capital. She shares her latest rundown of all the must-know events. We tell you how you can win a trip to the Bahamas. Yeah, that's right. That is all coming up next. A trip to the Bahamas. You could win it. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. And nice, look at that beautiful snow-covered scene in Ottawa. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation. These heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
It's Monday, November 10th.
But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again. Carnegie comes out.
Atletico Ottawa are waking this morning as CPL champs after an iconic final game.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
Ottawa sees its first blast of winter as Environment Canada is warning that travel could be challenging throughout the day.
Going as defense, Juan Chabot is shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
The Ottawa Senators kick off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We do have a lot of snowfall, but we also have something to make you forget about the snowfall and think about somewhere that's nice and warm and beachy coming up in the show.
Oh, yeah. Your chance to win a vacation for two, a trip for two to the islands of the Bahamas. You gotta watch, listen in. We've got a code word. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Super exciting. Well, talking about that snowfall impacting sports in our city, Atletico Ottawa, they're waking up this morning as CPL champs after an iconic, we'll call it Canadian final game, highlighted by one of the most spectacular goals in Canadian Premier League history.
Trying to cross. And he wants to claim in the air.
Amazing. That bicycle kick goal in the 40th minute by David Rodriguez tied the game at 1 and has been dubbed the icicle kick. The game against Calgary FC was played in near blizzard conditions, with plows actually having to come in and clear the snow before extra time, where Rodriguez would also score that game-winning goal. Atletico Ottawa are now the North Star champs. The final score, 2-1. This is their inaugural title. Atletico had lost in the finals once before.
Continuing with the snowfall that struck the capital, the region has been blanketed and it's likely to lead to a messy commute this morning.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada is warning that travel could be challenging today, and you are encouraged to take extra time for your commute. Hundreds of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid.
An affront to our mutual understanding and historical respect between doctors in the province of Quebec.
Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. The legislation ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets, and they can face stiff sanctions for boycotting the changes. Protesters are calling for the law to be suspended.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance a new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January and be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. And as the U.S. government shutdown nears the end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed. 2,200 were canceled Sunday as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on the airports. Some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
President Donald Trump has pardoned his former personal lawyer and others for their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. A Justice Department spokesperson says Trump has pardoned Rudy Giuliani, his former chief of staff Mark Meadows, and others accused of backing the Republicans' efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The pardon explicitly states it does not apply to Donald Trump himself. The Ottawa Senators kicked off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense find Shabbat. The shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score! Make it 4 in a row for Michael Amadio.
Michael Amadio makes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also scoring in this game. Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Remembering fallen heroes and veterans, several ceremonies went ahead in our region over the weekend. That is ahead of Remembrance Day. And that was the sound of bagpipes in North Gore. Just a preview of the ceremonies that are set for Remembrance Day tomorrow. The main ceremony at the National War Memorial begins at 10:30. You can expect some traffic delays in that area tomorrow.
And despite being seen with former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Katy Perry is singing about a broken heart in her new single.
I don't think this one's at JT, maybe Orlando Bloom, perhaps, you think?
I think so.
Yeah, this is her new song called Band-Aids, where she seems to be revealing some of the reasons behind her split from the one and only Orlando Bloom. One of the lines says, "I promise I tried." She also sings, "It's not what you did, it's what you didn't." Oh. Ouch.
And then some are saying that Trudeau gave her a nod because right after her single, he posted on his Instagram a picture of him getting the flu shot with a big Band-Aid being seen. You know, so kind of people are like, oh, it's his little, you know, shout out to her new song Band-Aids, and yeah.
A little extra jab.
Exactly. And we just want to remind you to please send your weather photos to us, and you can see it right here on the show. All you have to do is email them weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that's weathershots@ctv.ca.
Weather Picture, brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And a bit of a cold day ahead as well. Normal for this time of the year is around 6 degrees. We'll be just below that. It will be -1 for your daytime high today. So a cold day ahead, no record breaking. In 2020, we were sitting at 23 for your daytime high today. So nowhere near those conditions. Cloudy skies to start things off, and yes, some scattered flurries in the forecast for today. We're expecting a little bit of snow off and on throughout the afternoon. Nothing that will accumulate too much, under a centimeter, so we don't have to worry about having to dig out from these flurries. Just enough to, of course, see some white stuff falling from the sky, and that will continue, pardon me, throughout the work week ahead. -3 right now, feels closer to -9 this morning, -2 in Cornwall, 0 out in Montreal, and daytime highs today of only -1, so we're not going to warm up too much from where we're sitting right now. We'll feel closer to -3 this afternoon, -2 for your daytime high in the valley, so below seasonal conditions throughout the region for today. For kids heading off to the school bus, conditions right now seeing a chance of those scattered flurries, sitting at -3, but again, feels closer to -9 this morning, so be prepared for some cooler weather. Tomorrow, -1 is also the high. Then Wednesday, Thursday are warmest days of the week with a high of only 3, but still below that seasonal daytime high. We could see some flurries mixed in with some rain, so we could see some wet snow on the way as we head into Wednesday, Thursday. Not a lot of sunshine over the next 7 days until we head into the weekend.
7-day weather forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And here's a look at your drive-in. The highways are looking great. No major issues there so far. Just starting to see some volume build, but you can see nice and cleared. Side roads are the bigger problem this morning. They're still a little bit snowy as we wait for crews to clear them off. And also on and off ramps, give yourself some extra time there as well.
Oh, why should you make the Bahamas your next sunny vacation destination? Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, joins us this morning to tell us a little bit more. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good to be here.
You know, I've always been jealous of my parents because they said Bahamas has been their favorite spot forever, and I've never gone.
You can fix that.
I know I can, and I have the perfect guy here to help me with that. If I was to choose an island, what would be your recommendation?
Well, we have 16 of them. Nassau Paradise Island is the one that people know the most. It's easily accessible. But we have 15 more destinations. If you're interested in adventure, we would say Grand Bahama. If you're interested in yachting and boating, we would say Exumas. But there's so much more to see and do, whether you're interested in cosmopolitan life or whether you're interested in lying on the beach in Rum Cay or San Salvador, or simply doing nothing at all in Crooked Island, or bone fishing, fly fishing in Andros. There's a lot to see, a lot to do. Each offers something unique and exciting. So that's the beauty of the Bahamas. 100,000 square miles of mostly water, but so much to see and do within the 16 destinations.
It's so beautiful. The water's beautiful. The beaches are so nice. And again, all I've seen is the photos. You know, I got to go there and see it myself. But a big, big part of this is now we have non-stop travel.
45 of them a week, non-stop direct to the Bahamas. We offer from Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Halifax, and did I say Ottawa?
Yeah, I've taken note a couple of times now.
Non-stop to Nassau from Ottawa beginning this winter. 45 flights. You can get there in 3 hours. It's easily accessible. You can leave in the morning and be there at lunchtime. So it's simply fantastic. It's 50 miles off the coast of Miami. So you're really close. It's kind of near shore to Canada, really. 3 hours. Non-stop direct to the Bahamas. You can go WestJet, Air Canada, or Porter. There's a new Porter service beginning this winter, and 45 flights in total. So we're excited about the possibilities. You can go WestJet direct to Grand Bahama, or you can go to all of the destinations direct to Nassau.
It's so amazing, and it's an absolute game changer having that non-stop flight there instead of having to changeovers and missed flights. It's so awesome that that's right here in the capital and many other areas. But before we let you go, what is your personal favorite thing about the Bahamas that if you're sitting at home, you're going, all right, what should I do? Well,
the Bahamas is a very unique and very special place, and yes, I am biased. But there's a long-standing connection with Canada. It's a friendly, safe place. There's the warmth of the climate and the warmth of the people, but there's also this partnership and relationship that we have endured, friendship over the many decades. Air Canada, for example, has been going non-stop from Canada to the Bahamas for 70 years. We have an office, a high commission here in Toronto. We have great friendships. All of our banks are Canadian. We have thousands of students who come to Canada for university. There is a connection, and I think there's a warm embrace between Canada and the Bahamas. We are seeing 50% increase year over year in visits from Canada to the Bahamas, and that's no coincidence, partly because of the accessibility, but mainly because of the warm climate, but we've gone beyond the beach. We've gone beyond sun, sand, and sea, and Canadians are now experiencing the adventure, the culture, the heritage, the food, and of course the diving and the fishing and the boating and the yachting. But we have great festivals and great music too.
It has something for everyone, and all those numbers are just going to jump up with those nonstop flights. Really appreciate you taking the time with us this morning.
Thanks. Good to be here.
CTV, Your Morning Ottawa wants to send you on a Bahamian adventure. That was Will just speaking a few weeks ago with the Deputy Prime Minister of the islands of the Bahamas. Can you imagine a 7-night escape at Margaritaville Beach Resort in Nassau in the islands of the Bahamas? Watch all week long for your unique daily code words and enter them at ctvottawa.ca. Today's code word is Bahamas. Enter it now for your chance to win this ultimate tropical getaway. Good luck. Millennial parents are complaining on TikTok that grandparents aren't willing to take care of their children. Should grandparents be expected to be paid? We discuss this sensitive issue coming up. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, a picture-perfect, wintry-looking day. We'll be right back.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation. These heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
Looking for the perfect gift that won't break the bank? Join us next week for incredible Black Friday deals and hot holiday gift ideas.
Live local shopping week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Atletico Ottawa are CPL champs after a final game played during a driving snowstorm and included one of the greatest goals of all time. The first major snowfall of the season has passed and nearly 12 centimeters of snow has fallen. Environment Canada is warning that you might need a little extra time on the roads today. And the U.S. Senate has taken the first step to end the longest government shutdown in history. Full details on all that coming up, but Melissa, what does the rest of the day look like after all that snow?
It's a cold start to your morning. Temps right now, -3, feels closer to -9 with that wind chill outside this morning. And there's still a chance we could see some scattered flurries this morning right through into your overnight hours today. Temperatures only reaching a daytime high of -1, so below seasonal conditions into the afternoon. On your roads this morning, of course, we don't have any major collisions. Oh, we do have one new collision right now. Pardon me, Industrial Avenue at Saint Laurent Boulevard. There is a collision. Volume across the city is also light, resulting in no major delays on your morning commute. You can see the highway and Queensway looking pretty good. Side streets on and off ramps could still have some snow on them this morning.
Some millennial parents are complaining on TikTok that the grandparents aren't taking care. They're not taking on the full role of full-time caregivers as they might have had growing up. Why aren't grandparents stepping up? And if they do, should they expect to be paid for full-time care? Go-to grandma, Kathy Buckworth, weighs in on this sensitive, timely issue. Good morning to you, Kathy.
Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning. Okay, so when we're talking about taking care of grandkids, we're not talking about the occasional, like once in a blue moon, watching the kids for maybe a night out. We're talking about regular babysitting of their grandkids. Should grandparents be paid for that? What are your thoughts?
Well, as soon as you say pay the grandparents to spend time with their grandchildren, people are like, oh no, I enjoy it so much. I love my grandkids. But we are talking about full-time daycare, Monday to Friday, 8 till 6, whatever the hours are that the parents need for work. So I have a few thoughts on that. Because honestly, a lot of grandparents, like myself, are still working, right? So if we're going to give up a full-time job when we still require an income as well, I think it's a reasonable request. If you can afford to not have to charge your kids, that's fantastic, or you don't want to. But sometimes it becomes part of the process, and what the parents are getting is daycare they can trust. They can, maybe the pickups and the drop-offs are a little bit easier. Maybe the grandparents are coming to your house instead of you taking them out. And another thing to consider is that if you're paying childcare expenses to your parents to watch the kids, you can claim that childcare expense. You cannot claim a childcare expense if it's the spouse or a direct, the parent of the child. But a grandparent is eligible for childcare expense. Now, the grandparent may also has to declare the income for that to work. So we have to watch that as well, because you might be on a package from retiring. You don't want that to impact your, your tax level as well. So those are sort of the logisticals around sorting that out. But let's go back to the beginning. Can the relationship withstand the grandparents saying, yeah, I'll do that for you, but bring me a check? So that can be a tricky one. So I think those discussions have to happen well before the childcare is required. Almost from pregnancy. But that's when we start planning childcare, isn't it? As parents, that's when we start looking at it.
Okay, you said it right there, discussions. What kind of discussions need to take place ahead of this arrangement?
I think what has to happen is, do you want your parents to caregive your kids full time? That's the first thing. Do you want that? And if you say yes, you have to be prepared for some of those grandparent rules to kick in, because they are going to have a really big part of raising those kids. Whereas, you can't say, well, we don't do it that way. You're going to have the negotiation in terms of, is there screen time? Can they be outside? What are the what are the nap times, etc. And I think that can be a tricky conversation to have. As a grandparent who doesn't do full-time care, I don't put my rules on my grandkids. I follow my daughter's rules for her kids, but I'm not a full-time caregiver. So I think that's a fair conversation. So it has to start right away, and I think just be open about it. Also, they have to have the space to caregive. Are they in your house? Are they in their house?
Look at you and your
Look at me and my grandkids.
grandbabies.
And I think we have to consider that as well. Can the grandparent do full-time daycare physically and mentally?
Look at that. You've got 4 there.
I've got 4
and
now.
a baby.
And a baby. So she's 8 months and all the way up to 6 years.
So that means you got to get down low and run after the baby who's crawling, right?
You want to make sure that your parents are physically able to do it, or they're going to have to put the child in front of a screen for a few hours because they can't physically watch them all the time. Is that acceptable to you? So a lot of things to consider before you get into that conversation on both sides.
That may be one of the reasons why a grandparent or grandparents would say no, refuse to take care of their grandchildren, not because they don't love them, but it's just physically it's too demanding.
That's right, it's too much, especially if they're running them out to lessons and things like that as well. So really a lot of things to consider when you, but have the discussion. We always lead with that, right? Protect the relationship with your kids and your grandkids first, and hopefully you can come to a conclusion.
Yes, and so is it, in your opinion, if a grandparent says, okay, I'm going to watch them Monday to Friday, it's maybe 3, 4, 5 hour commitment every single day, how would you feel? What are your thoughts on the grandparent actually initiating that conversation about payment?
Well, I would suggest that you have to be open about your own finances. That's where it starts, right? And say, I'd love to do this for you, but maybe I have to give up my part-time job, or maybe I have to give up hanging out with my friends or playing pickleball. Like, I don't know. Like, you want to consider all of these things because you want to have a life as well. The other more complicated part of this too is what about the other set of grandparents? So if you're the primary caregiver of the grandparent, what does that do to the relationship with the other grandparents? I have a great relationship with my kids' other grandparents, and I want to keep it that way. So you know, that's a conversation that has to happen as well, in terms of, I'm going to be full-time caregiver. Do you want to come over and help sometime? Do you want to split it? Do you want, you know, so then when there's an occasion to babysit at night, maybe they get the opportunity? Lots of relationships, right? Especially if there's different sets of grandparents due to families divorcing or whatever. You could have 6 grandparents in the mix,
You could. Kathy, what does it offer your grandkids when grandma takes care of the grandkids? What do you think? What are the advantages?
The advantages are, of course, you're carrying on a lot of family traditions. You're showing them the same love that you showed to your kids. You're following a lot of the same rules. And my grandkids love seeing pictures of their mom as a little girl. So I bring those over often. Mom was a baby. You know, that's so fun. She was in your tummy. Like, what's going on with that? So I think those are fun things that you can do. I mean, spending time with my grandkids, I'm lucky. I can do it and not to have to do it full time. I do it when I'm able to, and that flexibility and closeness to them it means all the world to me.
Author and go-to grandma Kathy Buckworth, it's been such a pleasure talking with you and finally getting to see you again. It's been a little while.
It's been a long time.
It really has.
It's so nice catching up with you.
Great to see you. All right, thanks Kathy. Will.
Thanks, Rosie. Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, Caroline Phillips is back with another edition of Caroline in the Capital. She shares her latest rundown of the all must-know events here in our beautiful city. Speaking of, look at that, we got all of the crew out today. Shovel crew, the roads being cleared, our first official big winter blast. Over 11 centimeters fell here in the capital. Leave yourself a little extra time and bundle up, folks. Happy Monday.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville, bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community. In the Glebe. Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville. From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Hey.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I think most people will be talking about the beautiful white stuff that has fallen on the Capitol this morning.
Oh, I know. And also the woes that go with it, because now it's like kids are in their full-on snowsuits, and you got to make sure you have their mitts and their boots, and there's just so many extra steps in the morning getting your kids out the door when it's snow season.
You really realize that too, the layers that are involved. So wait, Do you have your mittens? Do you have your scarf, your hat? And then at the end of the day, Melissa, you got to count and see if you've got the same amount of mittens and hats, and if you have the right one,
There's always items that you lose, of course, throughout the course of the winter.
I always came home with missing items. My mother will tell you that story every single day. Well, starting with the snowstorm, because it affected some of the sports, but after a final that will go down in history, Atletico Ottawa are the 2025 Canadian Premier League and North Star Cup champions. Doesn't get any more Canadian than this. The game was played in a driving snowstorm and an orange ball to make it easier for players and fans to actually see. And for Atletico, David Rodriguez played the hero in extra time.
But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again. Carlucci comes out, but Rodriguez chips him. David Rodriguez! What can't he do?
And the celebratory jump into the snow caps it off. The perfect touch in the 107th minute to put the home team up for good. Final score was 2-1 over Calgary FC.
The cleanup is underway after Ottawa's first major snowfall of the season.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
School buses are running in Ottawa today, but the Transportation Authority says there may be some delays. OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada says 11.7 centimeters of snow has fallen and are encouraging you to take extra time for your commute. Thousands of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid. Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. More than 12,000 doctors filled the Bell Centre to protest the legislation, which ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance a new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January and be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. And continuing with that U.S. government shutdown, as it nears an end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed. 2,200 were canceled this Sunday as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on the airports. Some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
At least 2 people are dead and 1 million others evacuated as a powerful typhoon makes landfall in the Philippines. The massive storm slammed regions with up to winds up to 185 kilometers per hour and torrential rain. This follows another strong typhoon just days ago that left at least 200 people dead and more than 100 others missing. 2 Major League Baseball pitchers are in hot water over a betting scandal. Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are alleged to have taken bribes to give sports bettors advance notice of the types of pitches they'd throw. They also allegedly threw balls intentionally instead of strikes to ensure successful bets. They are facing charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. The Ottawa Senators kick off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense finds Shabbat. The shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
Michael Amadio makes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also scoring in this game. Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Remembering fallen heroes and veterans, several ceremonies went ahead in the region over the weekend ahead of tomorrow's Remembrance Day. That was the sound of bagpipes in North Gore, just a preview of the ceremonies that are set for Remembrance Day tomorrow. The main ceremony at the National War Memorial begins at 10:30. You can expect some traffic delays in that area.
A YouTuber in Edmonton is building a giant Lego city one brick at a time.
This is my Lego room.
Wow.
Content creator Jordan Forsyth, better known as Brixie, has an impressive Lego collection. This is a look at Brick Mountain, which spans 75 square meters with a massive model made from millions of pieces. He and his wife started building Lego 10 years ago with Star Wars set.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
It's incredible. Like Lego City. Oh,
the amount of time and dedication that it takes to put something like that together. Like I actually want to know, like, what was the total amount of hours that you spent setting that up?
Incredible.
Amazing.
Well, if you built a Lego Ottawa City today, you would need to be covered with white, a blanket of snow. I don't know if they have snow pieces in Legoland, but
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But that's what we would need today because it is a beautiful winter wonderland. If you are just waking up and looking outside, cold and snowy. Yes, we saw almost 12 centimeters of snow yesterday. That was what was recorded at the Ottawa airport. So 11.7 to be exact. Could still see some scattered flurries today. Not enough to accumulate, so you won't have to dig out later on tonight from the snow we will see this afternoon. Just some light scattered flurries kind of off and on throughout the day ahead. And it will continue over the next few days, right through tonight, off and on tomorrow, and then into your Wednesday as well, where we could actually see it shift a little bit, a bit more wet snow on the way with some rain into the afternoon. Temperatures this week will be below seasonal. It's still cold out there this morning. -3 does feel closer to -9 with that wind chill. So for kids heading out to recess today, it's going to be so much fun for recess with all of that fresh snow on the ground that you get to play with. Of course, still a chance of those flurries this morning. Temps will hover around -2 throughout your morning recess, then reaching your only daytime high of -1, which isn't warming up too much from where we're sitting right now, and still seeing those light flurries into the afternoon. The snow will stick around at least for a couple days until we see some rain mid-work week. Tomorrow's daytime high is -1 as well, still some flurries, and then Wednesday, Thursday, some of that snow could melt as temperatures reach daytime highs of 3, and we could see the snow change to rain.
And as we take a look at the roads at this hour, we do have a collision to let you know of. It is on Industrial Avenue at St. Laurent Boulevard. So if you are in that area, expect some delays and continue to drive carefully. Volume is picking up on the 417 eastbound between Richmond and Parkdale. Other parts of the highways and main roads are still flowing quite well. The side streets this morning still needing some time to clear those roads, but it's nice at least the main highways. The city is doing a good job, but of course, with this first winter blast, just leave yourself a little extra time. Melissa.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Caroline Phillips from Caroline in the Capital is here with a rundown of all the must-know events coming up right here in the nation's capital. Welcome back to the show. Looking fabulous today, as always.
Yeah, thanks. This is Frank Zuko, local designer. Thank you.
It's nice to support local. Yeah. All right, let's talk about that first event that you attended this past weekend.
Sure, just on Saturday night. So it was Steel Toes and Stilettos. It was a gala in support of Habitat for Humanity, Greater Ottawa. It was held at Infinity Convention Center. And it was kind of like a Wizard of Oz meets Wicked theme in honor of the event's 20th anniversary, which is like the Emerald gemstone.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful evening. And if you don't know, what Habitat does is it works with community partners and it builds affordable housing for families in Ottawa. Incredible. And, you know, housing's a crisis in our city. So it's really important that we address this issue. There are awards handed out. There was largest crowd to date, 450 people, and 335,000 raised. So also the most amount of money.
Wow, that's incredible. It is such a fantastic gala. I've attended in the past. It is a really good time. And I love the theme this year.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's always fun when there's a theme.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to some events coming up
Sure, you
for
bet.
season soiree.
Okay, so this is for Christie Lake kids, and I think a lot of people think about the summer camp, the free summer camp that it runs near Perth, but it also has programs after school for low-income kids in what they've identified as priority neighborhoods. And so this gala, it's kind of, they're shaking things up a little. They're going back to Ashbury College, that's a school in Rockcliffe Park, and they're going to be doing the four seasons of the year, and they're going to have like different lounge areas set up. There's going to be different kind of like entertainment from the youth with each season. I think with hockey we could, or with the winter we can expect hockey.
Cool.
And it'll be raising important funds for these programs so that kids can do things like hockey, soccer, basketball, art, dance, martial arts, in these programs that run after school.
I love that. And a great MC for that event, her own Will Ayala will be emceeing that event, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I look forward to it. So,
okay, one I look forward to every year, Trees of Hope.
Sure. So for a lot of people that attend this every year, it's like the unofficial kickoff to the holiday season.
It's true, absolutely.
So what you have is businesses and organizations coming together. They sponsor these trees. Their team members decorate themselves, and it's kind of like the big unveiling at the Fairmont Chateau Laurier in their beautiful ballroom. It's a bit of a party. It's very fun. Raises money for CHEO. And the public should know that the trees will remain on display in the hotel, in the public spaces, of course. And you're invited to go to check them out, vote on your favorite, make a donation. That's until January 6th.
I feel like when you go to Chateau Laurier this time of the year, you're on like your own little Christmas snow globe. It's such a fun event.
Yeah, I love it. I got married there actually at Christmas, so yeah, nice memories.
Okay, last but not least.
Yeah, so Aurora Ball. This is a new event. It's being hosted by the Ottawa Cancer Foundation, and I'm pretty excited to see what they do. I'm told it's going to be like Taylor Swift folklore cabin kind of meets Aurora, the Northern Lights. There's going to be s'mores. There's going to be the Canadian band Strumbellas. Do you know them?
I do.
You know their famous song?
I don't.
Okay, I'll sing a line.
Okay, sing a line.
I've got guns in my head and they won't go.
Yes.
Okay, so great band, and they're going to be performing. And then the Ottawa Cancer Foundation raises funds for individuals and their families who are facing cancer.
And Stefan and myself from CTV Ottawa will be emceeing that together.
It's gonna be, I'm looking forward to it more than ever now.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Melissa.
And people can follow along all your adventures online as well.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Rosie.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, it's National Senior Safety Week, and we are talking about the #1 crime targeting seniors. Our guests are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Look at that, the calm after the snow. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Good morning. Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Okay, so when Edwin Villemere laced up for his very first session of Timbit hockey, you know what? At just 5 years old, he went on the rink and he felt like a little bit like, whoa, it's kind of big, it's kind of loud. What's going on here? Felt a little bit scared. So you know what Edwin did? Edwin went ahead and wrote a book. And so we're going to talk about that book. But first off, let's do a little face-off, Edwin, here. Right. And I've got Edwin's parents here as well. We've got Tabitha and Edwin's parents. We've got Patrick as well. So you want to do a little puck drop for me?
Right, ready?
Edwin, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh, nice. Nicely done. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, Edwin. Score. I see how you take right away. You got your hockey stick. You take right away and you take to the ice. And you're enthusiastic about the game now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, tell me about the book you wrote. What's the title?
The Boy Who Feared the Ice. The Boy Who Feared the Ice?
The Boy Who Feared the Ice. Is that boy you?
Yeah.
Really? It was about you, right? So what was it like when you went ahead and wrote that book? Did you feel better about it when you first started to write it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you were scared about the ice. What about the ice made you kind of go, oh, I'm a little nervous?
Well, there was all of these kids on the ice.
Yeah.
And all of the people and they would just like knock you down.
Yeah. And then you wrote the book. Was it fun? when you started to write it?
Yeah.
And did you start to feel like, oh, wait a minute, ice hockey is kind of fun now, right? Yeah. Okay, so now that the book is out and you wrote it, what did your parents say to you when you finally finished it?
They just said they're proud of it.
Yeah, they're proud of you, right? Are you proud of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that you've written the book, The Boy Who Feared Ice, how do you feel about the ice, about hockey now?
I love it.
See, you love it. Oh, okay, so when's the next hockey practice?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday? Okay, so what's the routine like? You're up early. Are you up early in the morning? You get your gear on? Yeah?
It's very early, so I just get to go in the car right away.
Oh,
and
really?
then I go, yeah, it's very early.
Okay, very early.
It's still dark out when I wake up.
Really dark, too?
Yeah.
Listen, I could talk to you forever, but I'm going to bring in your parents here to talk about this whole thing, this process, the book. How are you feeling about it?
No, it's great. We're really proud. I mean, he really wanted to help other kids as well.
Yeah.
So we were just there, and he was just started saying, like, we were like, why is hockey so difficult? And he was saying, well, what if this happens and what if this happens? I said, hold on a second, let me get a pen. And we just started writing it down. And then we used AI to brainstorm ideas. And of course, everyone has like 5 fingers, 5 arms and legs.
Yeah.
And so we used my designers from my company, and we kind of cleaned it up and we made it consistent and put it all together.
Tabitha, you must be so proud of your son.
I am so proud of him.
Yeah.
Just when we were writing it, we thought we'll just write it out and we'll just keep it for us and we can have it maybe grandparents. But then as he went, he goes, Mommy, do you think other boys and girls have these fears and these what ifs? And I said, yes, I bet they do, buddy. And he goes, do you think we could print the book so we could help other boys and girls with their fears? And I mean, how can you say no to that, really?
You cannot say no. And you're spurring on his creativity and his thought process. And this is just wonderful and encouraging him as well. And now you guys get to get up nice and early on Saturday to take him to hockey practice, which is so much fun. Listen, congratulations to you. The Boy Who Feared Ice by Edwin Villemere. That is an accomplishment. You're only 6 years old. Oh my goodness. Tabitha and Patrick, congratulations on encouraging your son to do this and to take on his fears. This is wonderful. Great accomplishment here. And I love the monsters still on the ice there. There you go. Loving this. Edwin, can I give you a high five for this? Job well done. Nicely done. All right. Going to send it on over to you, Melissa.
Well, coming up at the 8 o'clock hour on Your Morning Ottawa, we are heading to the Deli. District Deli joins our morning kitchen as we kick off Cheap Eat Weeks, highlighting local restaurants offering great food at great prices. That's just ahead. Here are your milestone celebrations for Monday, November 10th. And we're going to start off with a happy birthday to Octavia from all of your aunts and uncles, your grandparents and your great-grandparents, your cousins, as well as your parents and your furry friends. They all wish you love and lots of fun on your special day and throughout the year. Wishing Gabriella a happy 10th birthday. This was for yesterday, November 9th. Good luck this weekend at your swim meet. Love Mom, Dad, Nona, Nono, and all of your aunts. Big birthday wishes to Juliana, who turned 7 today, sending you tons and lots of hugs and love from Poppy, Mammy, Lucas, and Mimo. And if you have a milestone celebrated with us and your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old and younger, or for those turning 100 years or more, we also do wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do is send us an email, Your Morning Ottawa Milestones at ctv.ca, and we'll be sure to get your announcement on the air. Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, it's National Senior Safety Week, and we are talking about the #1 crime targeting seniors. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge to have that conversation. Here's a live look through our sky cam this morning. It is a Christmas snow globe outside with all that fresh snow. Just under 12 centimeters has fallen here in the city.
It's Monday, November 10th.
But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again. Carnegie
Atletico Ottawa are waking up this morning as CPL champs after an iconic final game.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
Ottawa seeing its first blast of winter as Environment Canada is warning that travel could be challenging throughout the day.
Going as that's fun. Shabbat is shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score! Make it 4 in a row.
The Ottawa Senators kick off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning, just after 8 o'clock. Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And I know kids are probably very excited to see all that snow outside for school today.
Your kids certainly were.
Oh, yeah, my kids were very excited about the snow. Dad, not so much, because he had to remind himself of all the things, the extra things he had to think about this morning, like the mitts, the toque, the scarves.
The snow pants.
Getting them in the car with the gear, then taking off the jackets for the car seats, because you can't have a jacket in the car seat. Like all the little things, you know, that I don't have to deal with, and he does, because he's at home with the kids.
You're like, okay,
I'm at work.
Go ahead.
We do a little FaceTime in the morning to check in on Nigel and the kids every day.
To see how he's doing.
Happy first day of what feels like winter.
Yes.
There you go.
Not just affecting the kids, though, also sports. Atletico Ottawa are waking up this morning as CPL champs after an iconic, we'll call it, Canadian final game, highlighted by one of the most spectacular goals in Canadian Premier League history.
Trying to cross. And he wants to claim in the air.
Just amazing. That bicycle kick goal in the 40th minute by David Rodriguez tied the game at 1. It has been dubbed the icicle kick. The game against the Cavalry FC was played in near blizzard conditions, with plows actually coming to clear the snow before they could get into extra time. And that's where Rodriguez would also score the game-winning goal. Atletico Ottawa are now the North Star champs. A great celebration. The final score was 2-1. This is their inaugural title. Atletico had lost in the finals once before.
The cleanup is underway after Ottawa's first major snowfall of the season.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
School buses are running in Ottawa today, but the Transportation Authority says there may be some delays. OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada says 11.7 centimeters of snow has fallen and are encouraging you to take extra time for your commute. Hundreds of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid.
An affront to our mutual understanding and historical respect between doctors in the province of Quebec.
Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. The legislation ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets, and they can face stiff sanctions for boycotting the changes. Protesters are calling for the law to be suspended.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance the new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January and be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. And continuing with that, with the U.S. government shutdown, as it nears an end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed and 2,200 were canceled Sunday as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on the airports. Some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
President Donald Trump has pardoned his former personal lawyer and others for their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. A Justice Department spokesperson says Trump has pardoned Rudy Giuliani, his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and others accused of backing the Republicans' efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The pardon explicitly states it does not apply to Trump himself. The Ottawa Senators kicked off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense, find Shabbat. The shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
Michael Amadio makes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also scoring in this game. Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Remembering fallen heroes and veterans, several ceremonies went ahead in our region over the weekend ahead of Remembrance Day. That was the sound of bagpipes in North Gore, just a preview of the ceremonies that are set for Remembrance Day tomorrow. The main ceremony at the National War Memorial begins at 10:30. You can expect some traffic delays in that area as we approach tomorrow morning.
Have you heard it yet? Hilary Duff has released her first new song in 10 years. Marking her long-awaited return to music, the track is called Mature.
Duff says the song reflects a conversation between her present and younger self. She released her last album back in 2015.
And says she always knew she would return to music, but needed time to grow and reflect, to mature.
Yeah, and it's so good. I've heard the full track. I saw it like fluttering online all weekend long, and I love Hilary Duff, so I was like, I need to listen to it, and it's good. It's catchy.
She's back.
Hilary Duff movie still sticks out when I was a young kid.
Yes.
I loved Hilary Duff, and still to this day, I have to listen to that full track because it's very catchy just from that small clip.
It's very catchy, yeah, and when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, it just puts you in a good mood and makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
And puts a smile on your face.
Love that.
All right. What may not put a smile on your face is when you look outside today and see all of that snow and realize that, yes, you have to dig out before you get the car out today, because we saw just under 12 centimeters of snow yesterday afternoon right through into your evening hours. Today, not so bad. Starting to see a little bit of sunshine out there. We're sitting at -3 still. Feels closer to -9. So it is a bit of a cold start to your morning, and temperatures this afternoon not really warming up throughout the forecast today. It's still a little bit cloudy, seeing a little bit of sunshine out there as well this morning, but there is a chance of these scattered flurries off and on throughout the day ahead. It won't accumulate, so you won't have to worry about adding to the snow that we saw yesterday. Just some slight scattered flurries this morning, continuing right through to your evening and overnight. So we could see that over the next few days before it changes to rain throughout the middle of the work week when temperatures do warm up. But this week's temperatures will be below seasonal throughout the entire week. So no real warm days in the forecast for us. The snow will definitely stick around for a few days. Temperatures today reaching a daytime high of -1. We should be sitting at around 6 degrees. So we'll be quite below that into your daytime high. Similar temperatures throughout the region, slightly warmer for Kingston, Brockville, and along the Seaway. Temperatures reaching a high of 0 today. The Valley, -2 is your daytime high. Same within Kittigan, Zibi. So realistically, we're seeing cooler conditions and, of course, some light flurries in the forecast. Similar day as we head into Tuesday. Then Wednesday's the day that we could see some wet snow mixed in with some rain as temperatures do warm up to a high of 3. Similar day for Thursday. Then Friday, temperatures reaching a high of 1. More flurries on the way. On your roads, we still have a collision on Industrial at Saint Laurent Boulevard, so avoid that area if you can. Volume is also slowly picking up on the 417 eastbound between Richmond and Parkdale. The westbound, we're seeing some slowdowns from Nicholas in through Rochester this morning. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning, and the snow is, of course, creating a beautiful snow globe effect for us here in their city. A beautiful shot of our downtown this morning at 8:10.
Well, it's National Senior Safety Week, and the Canada Safety Council is sounding the alarm on scams that target older Canadians. Joining us this morning to talk a little bit about how we can protect ourselves and our loved ones is Lewis Smith with the Canada Safety Council. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Will. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you, because even Rosie and I talk about this all the time, where we're like, we always ask our parents, like, just if you get anything, let us know beforehand before you do anything. But before we get to some topics today, we do have some really alarming numbers.
Yeah, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre is fantastic for collecting information, reports of fraud, and the impacts of it. And what we saw last year is about 108,000 reports of fraud, with about $600 million worth of financial loss because of these.
That's such a large number, and you think about it, and you never think it can happen to you, but then it can. And we got 4 different topics today. The first one we're going to talk about is romance scams.
Sure. So romance scams are particularly targeted towards seniors, focuses especially on their isolation, on their loneliness. And the idea behind the scam is because of the advent of online dating, you get folks who are trying to establish a long-term, long-distance relationship. And these can be gradual over time. It may not be initial pressure, but once that relationship, once that emotional connection is made, you start seeing requests for financial aid. Maybe it's a car that broke down, maybe it's wanting to travel, and over time the requests get more and more, and because the emotional piece is involved, that becomes a problem.
Because they come after you when you're at your most vulnerable, right? Like you're seeking out maybe for some connection, and you can get into some trouble. The next one, something that is, it's always so troubling when you see this, and it's always really heartfelt when it happens to someone that you love, but the grandparent scams.
Grandparent scams are heartbreaking. These are the types of scams where a scammer will phone up or email and pretend to be someone in the elder's life, whether it's a grandchild or a child or someone who is affiliated with them. And they'll present themselves in a way where they're desperate for money. Whether it's they need bail or they have some emergency fund that desperately needs attention. And the whole focus really is on the pressure of it. You're not instinctively going to get a call like that and think, well, I don't know, are you really who you say you are? But unfortunately, that's an important part of this scam, and how to address it is making sure that we're verifying that the person is who they say they are before even thinking about sending any kind of cash along the way.
It can be so scary. Okay, so that's 2 of 4. As we get to our third one right now, this is one where it's gotten really good. I mean, I even got 4 texts on the weekends claiming to be basically my sister-in-law, saying like, hey, Will, hope you had a great weekend. It's Emily. And then I obviously ignored them, but impersonation scams are huge right now.
Of course. And we can be talking about individuals, because that certainly happens all the time. It's one of the more common types of scams. Specifically targeting seniors is the type of impersonation scam where a scammer is pretending to be someone from, say, the Canada Revenue Agency or some form of reputable organization, agency, someone they've heard of before. And instinctively, because of that sense of authority, there's not that natural sense of wanting to question it or of not being sure that they are who they say they are. But again, so important to verify by asking them questions, by calling them back at their public-facing number rather than the number at which they called.
Yeah, definitely. And again, they're getting, like, some of them either are really, really good or they're so bad that you can't believe it, right?
Not too much in between.
And then one that we've seen so many times is one where they try to get back, but investment scams.
Investment scams are the type of scam where someone will reach out with a too-good-to-be-true financial offer. They're trying to sell some form of investment that's guaranteed to make a quick buck, and oftentimes that's not the case. It does tend to be a pyramid scam more often than not, which leaves the senior feeling ashamed and vulnerable and out money.
And all of these 4 topics, final advice, because I always say, please just check with me if I'm talking to someone to give advice. Just let me know before you do anything. Is that the best advice in all of these topics?
Connection's the best weapon that we have against scams. It's so important to be checking in with our parents, with our grandparents, with our community members, because when we're talking about these types of things, we make sure that it's normalized, that we know that nobody's alone in this. Nobody is going through these types of scams alone. And the more that we have access to information and the ability to verify, the better protected we are.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Lewis, for stopping by. Such an important topic right now. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks very much for having me.
Melissa, over to you.
Well, everybody's got one. That one story where your brain just took the day off. Ashley and Gord from the Morning Pickup from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 asked listeners to confess theirs in a little game they like to call Dumb or Just Human.
I think we're doomed. I really do. There's a new celebrity game show in the works, and it's called Nation's Dumbest. And the whole point of the game is to not win it, because if you win it, you'll be crowned Nation's Dumbest.
So you want to be eliminated on, like, the first episode, basically.
why even sign up for this? I'm losing brain cells. I am losing brain cells reading about this show.
Yeah.
I think, though, we've all had moments, we've been like, did I do that? Did I think that?
Mm-hmm.
My husband has a whole list for me.
Like an Ashley dumb list?
Oh, yeah. He adds to it every day. But, sometimes it's just human nature. We can make little mistakes here and there. But
brain farts.
We can't believe we thought that. We can't believe we said that. Lots of texts coming in at 54321.
Yeah, we got one from Sarah. I once microwaved a bowl of soup with a metal spoon still in it. Obviously, there was sparks everywhere. That could start a fire.
Here's the thing. Is that how you learned that you're not supposed to put spoons in the microwave? Or were you sidetracked and you accidentally left the spoon in the bowl and then put it in the microwave? There's a difference.
I'm going to chalk it up to that one probably for Sarah. I don't think she's a total.
So we're going to say
dummy, no.
that's human?
That's human.
That's human.
Yeah.
Mike asked his wife what kind of animal veal was. Mike, if you're old enough to have a wife and a mortgage, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
By now you should know. You should know, right? By now?
We all learned that pretty early on what veal is.
I learned what it was on a school trip to the farm.
Oh, you learned the hard way.
I sure did. Yeah. Any more coming in?
We got one from Craig. I once told a cop my address was home.
Oh. Hopefully the cop had a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And probably an understanding that you were a little under pressure at that moment. And I understand that one. I do.
Yeah, you're not thinking straight.
Yeah, totally not thinking straight. I once, crossing the border, was asked by a border officer, when was the last time I was in the U.S.? And I panicked.
Uh-huh.
And I said, we just got back from Mexico.
Not the same country.
My husband added that to the list. He was like, there it is. Okay, we got Mary on the line. What about you, Mary?
So my birthday was on Monday, and my boyfriend bought me a Dairy Cream ice cream cake.
Yeah.
And, well, I think it's human, but I put it in the fridge instead of the cooler.
Come on.
What do you do after you get home from the grocery store and you get ice cream? Where do we put it?
Okay, but they're disguised as cakes.
It's ice cream in the shape of a cake. It's still ice cream,
but
guys.
It looks like cream. No, I'm sorry. It's human. I say human.
I want to say I'm putting that one in the dumb column, guys.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Enjoy your milkshake.
And don't forget, you can listen to Ashley and Gord on the morning pickup weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m. only on Ottawa's Pure Country 94. Well, coming up, looking for that show-stopping gift. Get ready to be inspired with a local jeweler. They join us in just a few minutes, and look at all that sparkle. Can't wait to take a look. Here's a live look from our sky cam on George Street this morning. Yes, a snowy start to your day. We received just under 12 centimeters of snow yesterday, so today is the day we get to dig out. With the holidays around the corner, elevate your gifting with a touch of timeless elegance. Fairfine Jewelers will be sharing their exquisite collections and revealing why their stunning pieces are perfect way to capture the magic of the holidays. And joining us are mother and daughter duo Farah and Sarah. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us today and bringing this stunning collection that I've been eyeing all morning long. Can you tell us first about your jeweler?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having us here.
You're
it's
welcome.
so wonderful to be here. And Melissa, all our pieces are Canadian made, first of all.
I love that.
So we really work very hard to work with our Canadian partners, Canadian gold, Canadian diamonds, and we designed a lot of our own pieces as well. So some of these pieces are designed by us.
Beautiful.
We picked the gemstones and designed this, then we have hand-picked out every single piece from Canadian Diamond Company.
Beautiful.
So these are maple leaf Canadian diamonds, one-of-a-kind pieces, and we have these beautiful gold pieces. So,
I love it. And tell us your story, because your story is very unique in how this all came to be.
You know, it's like, Melissa, it just happened.
Yeah.
So this was really not my journey to become an entrepreneur. And I moved to Canada in 2001, and wow, this is emotional.
Yeah.
So I worked for a family, got into the jewelry business, worked for a family, and all of a sudden my husband passed away. I had two young kids, Sarah and my son, Omar, and I put everything that I had in me, I put it into the business. And then I was asked, Farah, you built it, you made it, would you like to take over as an owner and make it your own? And that's how I built my business, and then rebranded it. So Farah is first three letters of my name.
Yeah.
RAH is my daughter, and the little O at the end is my son, Omar.
I love that. So it's a family business.
It's a family
now.
business. It's our legacy. These are my 2 pillars.
I love that.
Yeah,
and what's it like for you as your daughter to work alongside your mom every single day?
I love it. I love what I do. I love working with my mom. We have fun. We have fun designing beautiful pieces, hand selecting pieces. I did gemology to kind of get more experience in the business. And we have fun. We love it.
Oh, it's such a beautiful story, and thank you so much for sharing it. Okay, let's get back to the gemstones because so many beautiful diamonds and everything else on the table today. Let's start with engagement because we know a lot of people are going to want to get engaged this holiday season. Is it too early or too late?
It's never too late.
Okay, that's what we'd love to hear. What are we seeing in terms of getting engaged this season?
So we work with a beautiful award-winning designer, Noam Carver, out of Montreal. He does incredible settings. They're all customizable to your preferences.
Wow.
We're seeing a lot of kind of gold coming back, very unique pieces. Everybody has their individual style.
I'm seeing some like Taylor Swift inspired pieces. Is that true?
Vintage, different shapes. A lot of the bezels are in, so quite a few different styles. And of course, white gold is timeless. You can never go wrong with white gold or platinum.
Beautiful.
The diamonds always have that brilliance.
Okay, as soon as you put this on display, I was instantly gravitated to this beautiful pink collection. Can you tell me about these ones?
So these beautiful earrings I actually custom designed. I picked the pair of stones a couple of years ago, designed the setting in around it. We work with local jewelers to kind of do our custom creations. So these are really unique. The pink tourmaline really pops, and different stone that you don't see too often.
Absolutely, and it comes with a beautiful necklace as well.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about this award-winning bracelet.
So this again, Noam Carver designer, that's an award-winning bracelet. He won an award for it a few years ago, and we were lucky enough to get one for our store, done with natural diamonds. Absolutely breathtaking, especially with the different finishes on it.
Absolutely. Okay, this is another beautiful one that caught my eye with a bit of yellow gold in there, or yellow diamonds in there.
Absolutely. So this is Canadian diamonds out of our proudly Canadian diamond mines. All these are natural jello from Canadian diamond mines. So is this one. A beautiful piece, Canadian yellow diamond, one-of-a-kind pieces, hand-picked out. We recently picked out this one. And actually, I'll tell you a little story about it.
I would love that.
It's already sold. One of my very lovely customer brought it back and said, Farah, you could display it because this was one-of-a-kind piece.
Beautiful
very
piece.
unique pieces, beautiful all Canadian diamonds.
And all
here.
price points as well, your jewelry,
Absolutely.
right?
So all these pieces are price pointed, designed to, you know, set any budget, everything. It's really all beautifully handcrafted, all in Canada. That's a lovely thing. Some pop of colors, gold, layering, that's a big thing these days, all layering stuff.
Thank you both so much for joining us today. And where can people find you, of course, because I know people are going to have questions about your beautiful collection.
Well, Melissa, we will personally would like to welcome all of you to our beautiful new boutique on 499 Terry Fox Drive. We would love for you to come in person and experience our incredible selection and unforgettable experience.
I love it, and maybe design your own as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you again for joining us today. Will, over to you.
Well, Melissa, we have brought District Deli towards our beautiful Delorier kitchen this morning, and we have chosen to do the finger guns as a hello this morning. Hey, coming up, we'll talk about these delicious sandwiches, and they're going to make me one too. Stay with us. We're going to be right back, everybody.
Happy Monday. Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
What do you think about the snowfall today with the kids? Are they
so
a 9
excited.
out of 10, 15 out of 10 excited? How was the morning?
Oh, they are like a 20 out of 10 excited. Like the first snowfall is very magical. Even yesterday, my daughter was like outside for 2 minutes and she was over it. And my son was out for hours. And my husband's like, I forgot how like annoying our son is in winter because he's so hard to get inside when it's snowing. He just wants to stay outside forever. We're like, buddy, it's dinner time. You got to have a bath. School tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's still going to stick around for a little bit, though.
It sure will. It sure will.
Well, he wasn't the only one playing in the snow yesterday. After a final that will go down in history, Atletico Ottawa are the 2025 Canadian Premier League and North Star Cup champs. Doesn't get any more Canadian than this. The game was played in a driving snowstorm and an orange ball to make it a little bit easier for players and fans to actually watch. And for Atletico, David Rodriguez played the hero in extra time.
But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again. Carducci comes out, but Rodriguez chips him. David Rodriguez! What can't he do?
The perfect touch in the 107th minute put the home team up for good. Final score, 2-1 over Calgary FC.
The cleanup is underway after Ottawa's first major snowfall of the season.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
School buses are running in Ottawa today, but the Transportation Authority says there may be some delays. OPP say there were over 120 collisions on the roads yesterday afternoon as many drivers scrambled to get their snow tires on. Environment Canada says 11.7 centimeters of snow has fallen and are encouraging you to take extra time for your commute. Thousands of Quebec doctors gathered in Montreal to protest the Quebec government's controversial Bill 2, which changes how doctors are paid. Premier François Legault forced the legislation through the National Assembly last month, which some doctors say created a rupture in their relationship with the government. More than 12,000 doctors filled the Bell Center to protest the legislation, which ties part of physicians' pay to performance targets.
The U.S. government shutdown may be nearing an end after a key funding vote was passed.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Senate Democrats helped advance a new stopgap measure to extend government funding until January to be tied to a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. It includes no guarantee from Republicans to extend the health care subsidies that have been at the heart of the funding fight. And as that U.S. government shutdown nears the end, thousands of flights have been canceled as airlines deal with staff shortages.
It's only going to get worse. I look to, the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle. We have a number of people who want to get home for the holidays. They want to see their family. They want to celebrate this great American holiday. Listen, many of them are not going to be able to get on an airplane.
More than 7,000 flights have been delayed and 2,200 were canceled Sunday as the U.S. government is trying to ease pressure on the airports. Some Canadian travelers are facing delayed or even bumped flights.
At least 2 people are dead and 1 million others evacuated as a powerful typhoon makes landfall in the Philippines. The massive storm slammed regions with winds up to 185 kilometers per hour and torrential rain. This follows another strong typhoon just days ago that left at least 200 people dead and more than 100 others missing. 2 Major League Baseball pitchers are in hot water over a betting scandal. Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are alleged to have taken bribes to give sports bettors advance notice of the types of pitches they'd throw. They also allegedly threw balls intentionally instead of strikes to ensure successful bets. They're facing charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering.
The Ottawa Senators kicked off their 4-game homestand with a big win over the Utah Mammoth.
Going as defense on Shabbat. Is shot out in front, looking for the rebound. They score!
Michael Amadio makes it 4-2 for Ottawa early in the third. He scored in 4 straight games. Ridley Gregg, Jordan Spence, and Nick Cousins also getting a goal in the game.
Ottawa is back on home ice tomorrow when they host the Dallas Stars.
Love that when our city's getting a good couple of home wins in there. Very exciting time to be a Sens fan.
And Atletico fan as well.
I know.
Our forecast this morning, you might be thinking, oh no, not more snow. We just got under 12 centimeters of snow yesterday. We could see some more flurries this week, but not a lot of accumulation, which is good news. Today's daytime high -1, so that is below seasonal. We should be sitting at around 6 degrees for our afternoon highs, and we won't come even close to that this week. Cloudy conditions still, a little bit of sunny breaks this morning, but there is a chance of these light scattered flurries throughout the day ahead, so you can see this white popping up on our forecast models. That will continue today, this evening, tomorrow, and over the next few days. So lots of mixed precipitation as we head into this week. Not a lot of sunshine on the way until we head into the weekend. So unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with cloudy conditions, cooler conditions, and yes, some flurries throughout the next few days. Temps today reaching a daytime high of only -1, so that is well below seasonal and similar throughout the region. Slightly warmer for Kingston, Brockville, and along the Seaway, reaching a daytime high of 0 for today. -2 in Kittigan-Dibby. 1 is the high in Montreal. So for the next 7 days, below seasonal temperatures. Tomorrow, -1 is also the high. Could see a few scattered flurries in the forecast again. Wednesday, Thursday are warmest days this week, and temperatures will reach at those highs late in the afternoon. We could see some flurries changing to rain into the afternoon, so we could also see some wet snow on the way Wednesday into Thursday, of course, melting some of the snow from the beginning of the week. Then as we head into the weekend forecast, temperatures still below seasonal, but the sunshine is out on Saturday.
Weather brought to you by Yeggendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And volume is slowly picking up on the 417 eastbound between Richmond and Parkdale. Westbound, we're seeing slowdowns from Nicholas to Rochester. Other parts of the highways and main roads are still flowing well this hour.
Well, if you weren't hungry this morning, you will be now. District Jelly joins us now. We have Leland and James just to talk about a brand new restaurant that's opened up, and it's always a good time to get a sandwich. Good morning to you both.
Morning, Will. Thanks for having us.
Of course, everything looks so delicious, which we will get to, and we have a special sandwich that we're going to make too. But I love the restaurant because you actually have sandwiches that are named after some of the streets.
Yeah, absolutely. So we basically wanted to be more of like a neighborhood concept, and that's where kind of that district brand really leans into. So that's why we name the sandwiches after the different streets. We like to get involved in the neighborhood different ways we can, and yeah.
And what is it about the sandwich that drove you guys towards that? Because you didn't always start in the food industry, and now here we are, and sandwiches was the get-go.
Well, funny enough, Leland and I both worked in restaurants straight out of school. And then we went did our office jobs, and we just found that, we weren't really enjoying it. We didn't see ourselves doing it for the rest of our lives. So we said, you know what, this would be really fun. Like, what do we have to lose? And so it's been about 8.5 months now. We've been loving it. So.
Oh, you love that. And what's the response been like so far in the community?
It's been very positive, actually. I think one of the things both myself and James have noticed too is the local support of everybody that lives right around the shop, which is awesome to see, and we love it. So
yeah, and as I stated, it's always a good time for a sandwich. So what are some of the options that you guys have before we kind of break in here?
Yeah, of course. Well, so right here we have a Scott. So this comes with dill mayo. You have turkey, capicola, some provolone cheese, some lettuce and pickles and tomatoes. It's really good. And James, if you want to run through this one here.
Oh yeah, James, our eyes on that front one up there.
This Holland here, well, this is a classic roast beef for those who love roast beef, so I should stop shaking it. But anyways, we got our house-made cream sauce. We got our Lester's roast beef straight out of Montreal. We hit it with the provolone, some Potter's pickles, red onions, and lettuce, and it is delicious.
Ooh, it sounds good. All right, now you know what? I feel like I could be a good part-time employee here. I feel like I'm okay at making sandwiches at home, but with your direction, I feel really good about making one today.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
I have a very good feeling, Will. Very good feeling here.
All right, so walk me through. What should I do here?
All right, so first thing, we're going to cut the bread. So I'm going to hand you this knife.
Get the glove on is probably the number one. All right, there we go.
That's right. And we're going to cut open the bread, but don't cut your hand. Just give it a nice little,
Nice little hey, how are you?
A nice little hey, how are you? Exactly. And don't cut all the way through, but right till then is great. Now we're going to open it up a little bit.
Just like that?
Oh,
or
yeah,
go
just
all the way?
like that. And then we're laughing. Now we're going to hit it with our basil mayo.
Thank you.
House made. It's delicious. It's got a hint of garlic in it, too.
And
it's
the fans love it down at the Deli, too.
Do they?
Yeah,
so this is the signature
favorite.
sauce. We're going to do one little because you can never go too much sauce.
Exactly,
okay.
exactly. Then And you know what? Let's just hit it with both sides. Let's just do it both sides.
Oh, Trey,
There you
what
go.
a rookie move. See, this is why I need support.
That's okay. That's okay. First timer. First timer. So
And
Leon,
Will,
you walk him through the meat and cheese.
Your second piece. So you want to layer your meats on right here first with the mortadella right here. So that is going to be your base layer.
And when
on
I
the
do
sandwich.
it full, then go or just straight like that?
Just straight on like that, and then just try and balance it out, because a good sandwich is all about good balance.
2, 3, nice. And I am a meat man here, so this is going to be perfect for me.
A meat man. So that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. So next you're going to want to take hot Genoa, layer that on nicely.
My favorite also, just so we're all aware. Salami is my favorite on sandwiches. And this is the Wellington, correct?
Yes, sir.
Look at that. You can never have
This is our
too
top selling sandwich down at the deli.
This is number one?
This is it.
All right.
And then you're going to finish it off with a nice layer of prosciutto right on the top.
Oh, yeah. Now, it might not be... Now, aesthetically wise, if you were to rate me out of... Let's call it 7, because 10's too far for this reach. How are we doing so far?
You're easily pushing an 8, Will. James? James?
I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree.
He's a natural.
Oh, yeah, look at
He
that.
might have space for you on a payroll, so...
Yeah, all right. Okay, that's done. Meat's done.
We're going to do some cheese now.
There you go.
Oh, what? Let's go.
So that's fresh mozzarella.
My Italian family will be very happy that we're doing this. Okay, cheese is on there.
Nice. So I'll walk you through the green side then. So first you're going to put a nice generous portion of lettuce.
Yes. Extra generous.
And you want to put it on the bread side here.
Oh, no.
That's okay. That's okay. It's still going to be good. Don't worry about it.
There we go. Okay.
So we got the lettuce here.
Yep.
We're going to hit it with some balsamic vinaigrette.
On the lettuce?
Yes,
on
sir.
the lettuce, that's right.
Okay.
Then we're going to do some house-made pickled red onions. So
Okay.
grab some of those.
And
And just kind
one-
of spread them across the lettuce.
Okay.
Then let's do some red pepper as well. So you're going to spread like probably about 3 pieces just across the, across the mozz
All
there.
right, you know what? Unfortunately, I took too long, so we're going to have to wrap up the sandwich here. If people
right.
are looking at coming to see you guys, where would they come find you? Because you have been open for about 8 months or so.
Yeah, we're located at 220 Carruthers Avenue in Hintonburg.
Amazing. And if you want a Wellington sandwich done a little bit better than this, that's where you want to head to. Let's let the professional finish it here. Beautiful.
Let's see how you did. Not bad.
Hey,
That's looking good. That's looking good.
All right, off to eat this in the break. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ask the Expert, brought to you by O.J. Hollingsworth.
Good morning and welcome back. Ask the Expert, O.J. Hollingsworth, sponsored by, by O.J. Hollingsworth. And we want you to email us your questions, your morning, Ottawa@ctv.ca. You can phone in your questions as well. You can see the information right there on your board. We got to bring in Brenda Hollingsworth right now and welcome you to the show.
Hi
We've
there.
got another session here. Plenty of questions for you. Great to see you.
Nice to see
Why don't
you.
we get straight to it?
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
Here's the first scenario. I had a single vehicle accident and was seriously injured. Do I have any options for compensation?
Yes.
Brenda.
So definitely, anytime you have serious injuries in a car, you should consult a personal injury lawyer, whether you think you were at fault or not, whether or not you're the only one in the vehicle. And here's why. Accident benefits can be quite generous to people who caused accidents. So if you have serious injuries, you could have $1 million in coverage. And if you don't have a lawyer guiding you, you may not get access to everything you need. So that's number one.
Okay.
And number two is there may be a reason you had that single vehicle accident. We've had cases where the roadway is confusing, signage is confusing, vehicles have flipped over because of sort of lines being in the wrong place. So let us investigate that. It doesn't cost anything for you to let us investigate it, see if potentially there's someone who may be able to explain how this happened.
Okay, so even if you are in, there are different scenarios, single vehicle accident, even if you may feel you may be at fault, don't just write that off.
No, like think about a day like we're having right now,
Yeah.
lots of snow and ice. the city has an obligation, and not just Ottawa, but the province and federally, all kinds of different governments have obligations to do things on the roads. If you fell or if you spun or something and had an accident because the roads weren't cleared, it might be somebody else's fault.
Okay.
So let us look at that.
Okay, that is really good to know. You may brake but not be able to brake in time and maybe even hit another vehicle or just get yourself into an accident.
Yeah.
And so don't assume anything.
That's right. Especially, it's one thing when the snow is still falling. There's quite a bit of leeway on governments to get it done. But by now, roads should be clear, salt should be down.
Yes.
And if it's not, you may have something.
Okay, this is very interesting. We're going to continue this conversation with Brenda Hollingsworth. If you have any questions for Brenda, let us know. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Ask the Expert will continue after this short break.
Ask the Expert, brought to you by O.J. Hollingsworth.
If you want to get in touch with O.J. Hollingsworth, you can see their information on the screen. Email them, info@ahinjurylaw.com. They're at 1443 Woodruff Avenue and at 304 O'Connor. So we're continuing this conversation with Brenda Hollingsworth, personal injury lawyer. And here's another scenario for you, Brenda. I was driving my work vehicle and got into an accident. Can I still sue?
Yes,
Brenda.
so a lot of people wonder about that because you know that you might be covered by WSIB, which if you're in, workers' comp, if you're under workers' comp, you don't sue. But the answer is for car accidents, you probably have a choice to either opt into workers' comp or opt into the normal lawsuit system for car accidents. So this is where consultation with a lawyer is going to be important because there's going to be times when WSIB makes more sense, like if you're at fault, for example. But there are a lot of times, especially with serious injuries, that if you can opt out of WSIB, you're going to want to do that.
What does that stand for, WSIB?
Workers' Safety Insurance Board, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but workers' comp is
it's
what
basically
it is.
workers' comp. Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
During the break, I was asking you. So you think that you may have a case. You were in an accident. Maybe you were seriously injured. Maybe not. But you just want to speak to a lawyer to find out if you do have a case. Pick up the phone, call you guys. What's the billing process like?
So our consultations are free. So that initial consultation is always free. If you hire us, it's still free. We get paid on a contingency basis, so we get paid out of the settlement. But that initial call, you will never be asked for money. Even if we go our separate ways, you don't hire us, there is no bill for that.
That is really good to know. So you can get somebody, a professional on the line, paint out the scenario and get some sort of an idea.
Yeah, that's why everyone should do it. There's no risk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brenda Hollingsworth from O.J. Hollingsworth, thank you so much.
Yeah, my
we really
pleasure.
appreciate you always coming in and giving us such great legal advice. Appreciate
my
that.
pleasure.
And if you want to get in touch with O.J. Hollingsworth, there's their information on the screen, 613-233-4529. And there they are, 1443 Woodruff Avenue. Will, Melissa, over to you guys.
All right. How's the sandwich?
So I took way too long building the sandwich that during the segment, I couldn't eat it.
Oh,
now I'm halfway through in one commercial break.
And delish.
So good.
It looks amazing. They created a beautiful salad for me because they didn't bring their gluten-free bread, but they do have gluten-free as an option, which is always nice. So I'm definitely going to have to go check it out and get my own gluten-free sandwich with all the fixings inside. Extra pickles.
Yeah, extra pickles for you, and you can have my extra pickles because you know that I don't have them. And yeah, they said that they're going to be bringing out some salads to come too as well. So yeah, so good. You know what? Snow's top of mind. I got to take a couple bites. So
okay, you keep on eating. I'll get you up to date on their forecast. And yes, we do have a chance of scattered flurries today. Temps reaching a daytime high of only -1. So we'll actually see below seasonal conditions throughout the day ahead. And these flurries are going to linger and last throughout the entire work week this week. And temps this week, cold. We're expecting below seasonal temperatures throughout the work week. I'm just going to have to sign off for us because Will is fully into his sandwich here this morning. Good? Thumbs up? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, that's all from us here on Your Morning Ottawa. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.